We now move over once again, stay in the US, where an appeals court refused to allow Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the accused mastermind of the September 11th, 2001 attacks, and two of his co-defendants to plead guilty under agreements that would have spared them the death penalty. Judges in Washington, D.C. rejected the agreement, which would have given Mohammed and the other defendants a life sentence without parole in a 2-1 decision on Friday. Mohammed is accused of organising and directing the 9/11 attacks on the United States, in which hijacked planes crashed into the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, killing almost 3,000 people. He was captured in 2003 and is being held in Guantanamo Bay, the camp prison in Cuba. Under the deal, families of the 9/11 victims would have been allowed to pose questions to Mohammed, who would be required to answer them, and fully and truthfully, according to the lawyers. Now we're joined by Joshua Barnes, once again, anchor and correspondent, to discuss this in further detail. Joshua, what can you tell us more about this situation?
Well, yes, Thomas, this is an extremely interesting story that is coming out, and of course something that is almost 25 years old in the obviously 9/11 attacks, nearly 25 years old. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed was caught, as you mentioned, in 2023, so this legal process has been going on for well over 20 years now, and there is division, not just amongst the court, who have thrown out this potential plea deal that would have seen Khalid Sheikh Mohammed and his two co-conspirators potentially avoiding the death penalty, but it's also dragging on for those who lost loved ones. As you mentioned, around 3,000 people killed during the separate 9/11 attacks at the Pentagon, at the World Trade Centers, and also a plane which crashed after being hijacked. There is division. Some say that they just want this situation over, the pain of reliving that moment again and again to be finished, the ability to pose questions and have a legal conclusion to something which is still rumbling on over 2 decades after capture and over 2 decades after the devastating terrorist attacks and that events on 9/11. But some people say that the death penalty, some victims and obviously these court members looking at it, saying that the death penalty is needed given the extremity of the situation. It's tough, of course, for America, a dark day in American history, arguably the darkest day, but one that is being brought back with this update. It'll be interesting to see what the next steps are and how the legal process can continue and make it that the members of family and the loved ones of those who were killed are somewhat satisfied with any conclusion.
Joshua Barnes, thank you very much for your insight. We now move on, where at least 4 migrants